rather be that. I think from a company perspective, you would want to build in a lot of ruling, but the system can do more than your how to say, your internal change management will handle. So it often is not the system that is stopping someone to build in ruling. They have very, so to say, fine-tuned functionalities, both zero chaos and field glass, that could help with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rather it's your own organization that puts the limit to it on how much you can cope with.
Mm-hmm. And what were the costs that were being floated to you by Fieldglass and Zero Chaos?
The cost?
Yes.
Yeah. So both Zero Chaos and Fieldglass are offering so-called supplier-funded models, where they are leaving the traditional license models, where you as a customer, you end up with a 3 years engagement and you have a fixed license fee per usage. What basically everyone is now offering is that you should have a supplier-funded model where you base your fee according to spend or transactions. And depending on how much cost you will transfer to the supplier, you can basically have a non-zero cost by yourself and have it funded by supplier. That is how they sell it. But I would say in reality, that is quite tough. You need to have a really strong governance and really put time in negotiation with your current incumbent suppliers, because players like Accenture, they will not just accept having Fieldglass coming and say, hey, now you need to pay 2% to Fieldglass just for you to be able to post your job offering to us. That could be something that is not impossible to get, but I think it's very important to the organization to understand the work that is required and the focus that you have to put into a couple of months in order to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that if you're willing, there are a lot of possibilities to just pay for usage, not have heavy investments in a system, and be quite quick up there and running with this cloud-based SaaS solution that is out there now. And I would say I would be very surprised if this license fee, the traditional license fee, will continue to be there. So that is what I've seen. And also now when working in an IT company, I also see that that is what every customer is asking for.
Okay. Are you using an MSP right now, or you're going directly to a staffing agent?
In my new company, we actually do have an MSP, so that is working very well. But in my old company, where I did the feasibility study, they were actually doing, they did decide to use internal resources, because they did a policy decision whether they thought, will we be able to get more savings by doing it ourselves, or would an external supplier be able to drive more compliance than we can do it? So that was the reason for doing it with internal resources rather than going with an MSP. And also for the contractual part, because the telecom company was not ready to transfer everything to suppliers.
Okay. So your company now, you guys have an MSP. You do not use a VMS?
There was one previously at the telecom company. No, they decided to hold on. They decided to hold on that, but they have been investigating to use a system called Workday. I don't know if you. I know Workday is not a traditional VMS, but they have some functionalities that they have started to use instead, where they have the time tracking, where they have the possibility to do the consultants search, and also have the invoicing part.
Okay. And how, just taking a step back, what for the organization, how many employees work there, and what percentage of that was contingent labor?
Yeah, it was actually 20,000 employees, and 20,000 additional was contingent workers, external workforce. So it was 50% was external workforce.